Hippie, been a while. Give me a bit of an update, man. It's been 6 weeks. Where are we? What do I need to know?
So, uh, I don't know if I've plateaued yet. I'm still just kind of steadily climbing, kind of just chipping away at refining like how to kill the Nexus in my knowledge and
Mm-hmm.
every little bit of how do these team comps interact and just kind of getting better at figuring out how to end the game.
Yep.
Um, and then this I chose this game specifically because this is one of those games where I didn't really understand, I guess, like how the champions in this match interact. In the early game, there was a lot of back and forth. Like I would get a kill, but I would trade a kill over to the enemy, and we were
Mm-hmm.
like trading kills a lot. And it seemed like in the long run that ended up being detrimental. And there were a lot of plays that I kind of, or that I made mistakes on. And in hindsight, I can see it was a mistake, but I don't know like what I was missing in
Mm.
the moment.
All right. Yeah. So you're in the stage right now. We're starting to get in the weeds, right? We're starting to get really detailed. Understanding your thought process and just making sure that we're weighing the variables correctly. I'm assuming.
Hmm.
Okay. So we've got a bit of a cat matchup. Rengar jungle, low threat pre six. I'm assuming you want to do some form of a slow build or something.
Yeah, either a 2 or 3 stack.
Yep. Fishing for a level two trade as well. I'm assuming as well.
Yeah, level 1, level 2, just looking
Yep.
try to harass her.
Yep. Okay, so it looks like Rengar started bot site. Beautiful Q. Nice electro proc. Looking very nice. You posh it up probably a little bit more aggressively this, so when you actually hit two, you could utilize it.
Yeah.
This cat's also gone Doran Shield. And she has Conqueror, right? I'm pretty sure she's actually gone the Conqueror. Yeah, so she's doing Conqueror secondary resolve with D Shield. So kind of the D Shield, I mean, is very low threat for you.
So when I see a Katarina with Conqueror, one of the things that I think is that, especially when I hit level 2, level 3, one of the reasons I'm posturing like somewhat defensively
Mm,
is I try to make it so I only get 100 to 0 trades. Because if I get my burst, but she gets on top of me with the Conqueror, she
yeah,
can
it's nasty.
typically just like run me down. So I'm trying to like play a little, kind of tether that line a little more carefully.
Yeah, spot on. Yeah, Conqueror has a lot more all-in threat in the early lane. Just got to be a touch careful. But the like I said, the no longsword does change a lot. That was a really good Q angle here. I reckon you could have potentially queued there. Remembering that her Shumpool cooldown is not instant in the early game. Even if you were to pick up that dagger, it's still not going to be off cooldown.
Oh, is there a little bit of time? I thought it was like
Nah,
practically instant.
it's not instant. Yeah, in the early game,
Oh,
it's like
okay.
I'm pretty sure it's like 2 seconds or something. It's like quite
Oh, okay.
significant.
Okay, I think that's why like a lot of these times when I wasn't throwing a Q, I thought it was
Mm,
because she probably had Shunpo up.
yeah, no, that's not the case whatsoever.
Ah.
It only gets low. It gets lowered by levels, I believe. So yeah, you're gonna have to probably maybe go and jump into practice tool with Katarina afterwards and just take a look at the values and play around with it. You'll notice how there's a significant delay.
Okay.
Yeah, so the overall right now, I think you've just been a touch too defensive. But at the end of the day, you're probably going to get away with this anyway because I feel like this matchup is only going to get better and better for you as the lane goes on. Like right there, for example, she can't do anything, right? She's just used her shampoo there. Boom. Like it will be, you got like 2 seconds to work with here,
Hmm. Yeah.
roughly. Okay, a little bit of a scrappy play. We do get a blue buff off that, which is the successful blue buff transfer. Hmm. Yeah, this is a bit of a unique one, isn't it? The minion just happened to be in range of the Rengar passive. Hmm.
Yeah, this was one of those moments where in my review I was trying to figure out like I wanted to push the wave in because I'm like, oh, I
Yeah.
have time.
Yeah.
And in hindsight, I'm like, oh, should I have known Rengar was on his way? Or because like even right here, like I figured if Rengar is on the way, I have Egg, I have Flash, I have Wall. There's no way he can kill me here.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's a tough one. I think it's really one of those situations. It's so niche, isn't it? It's so goddamn niche. I mean, I think if this were me, my takeaway would probably be, I mean, maybe lean further onto that top side, knowing that Rengar can no way kill you from that top side. Right? Like, you don't
See,
have
I
to...
was hovering odd because we have the ward kind of near that red buff,
Right, yeah, yeah,
and
yeah.
I guess I had a false sense of security, like, oh, I'd see him coming from bot side.
Yeah, yeah, okay. I wouldn't overemphasize that too much. I don't think I've ever seen that, by the way. Ever.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's very, very rare.
Because I think it was also on my mental stack. I'm like, oh, Rengar's not level 6. Yeah, he's never going to come to my lane.
Yeah. Yeah, so far I think the main learnings are all to do with punishing Katarina more and more. And I think that's all directly tied to you overestimating the amount of threat that a Katarina has onto you. Like, I think your positioning around the daggers is quite nice. I think you're just thinking that she can do a lot more than she is.
So, like, you don't think I have to be that afraid of her damage output right now?
Well, no, I mean, she does damage, but not in the manner that you think. Like, you're holding her abilities a lot because you think she can hop around. That's what it looks like to me. Like, you're holding your Q a lot more than I think you need to. I mean, this was actually really nice. I kind of like this because you're holding it just in case. I mean, you kind of you overwhelm her mental stack. But I'm talking more when you were under the tower and you had that stacked wave. And then she, like, shumps
Yeah, early on.
that. Like, yeah, when she's under tower, it's very difficult for her. So well done. This is very nice. I mean, the wave's in a nice little position. We hold our Q reactively. And then we knew our jungle was around the area. So well done. That's a really nice play. Okay, so look, at this stage, your job really is to get to Lost Chapter as fast as possible and then make Katarina react, isn't it? I mean, you're not really going to be... I feel like at this point, it's kind of difficult to freeze. You don't really want to freeze either, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, beautiful trade there. Well done. Well done. Now we have full lane control. We've got to be a little bit careful of the Rengar, though, because Rengar is going to have R. Rengar shows topside, so we know we're the isolated 1v1. Looking very good. Great ward opportunity here. Yep, good. Good hold on the Q. Yeah, my only criticism here is that it would have been good to get a ward on that Raptors.
Okay, yeah.
Because you really do want to see what side of the map the Rengar is on.
Mm-hmm.
I can tell right now you're quite scared because Rengar could theoretically ult from topside or wherever.
Yeah, that's why at this point I think I pressed tab like maybe like a minute ago when I saw he was 6.
Yeah. Yeah, and especially
So
since your
now
jungle
for
is
the remainder of
resetting.
the game, yeah, for the remainder of the game, I'm like, okay, I have to always know when it's up.
Yep. Great. I like the way you're playing this. Very conservative. Letting the wave bounce back out to you. And a pretty free kill. That was actually surprisingly close. I didn't even think that was going to be remotely close. Okay. So, well done.
I think it's because I walked away and didn't auto. I think if I just stood still in autoed her, she would have just like
Yeah, yeah.
right
She would have
here.
just died. Yeah, yeah.
There's no, yeah,
There was actually no point to run. Just literally just auto her because she's gonna get all her damage. Like, what are you running from? You know, like the ult.
yeah.
You're running through the ult anyway. Yeah.
To be honest, I was walking away just because I'm like, oh, she just dies. I wanted to do a fade away.
Right, the fade
It
away.
just
Yeah, but she survived longer than you thought. Okay. Okay, so well done. She's gonna have a little bit of tempo here. Oh shit. Same thing again. Rengar this time ults. I mean, I would have assumed that he ulted bot, to be honest with you. As soon as he went bot and got those kills, I would have assumed that he ulted, so I don't blame you. I mean, alternatively, what you could have done here is actually just reset, not get this next wave as well, if you were really that scared of the Rengar, knowing that you're also low on resources. You don't... It's nice to get this next wave, but the benefit of actually resetting now instead is that you would actually be able to match the tempo better from the Katarina. Sure, you'd go down, what, two or three creeps, but you'd be able to match the tempo. So, ultimately, it depends if you hypothesize if the Rengar used R-bot. But we don't really know that, do we?
yeah. So going into this, the reason I pushed out this wave was I saw Rengar get the double kill. I'm like, oh, he probably ulted. And then I was also thinking, oh, my bot lane just died. Even if I give tempo to Katarina, there's really nowhere for her to go.
Right, okay. Well, I mean, that's great. In that sense, it's really good. So, at least you thought about it. So, that's the Rengar R. I mean, that's a really not a good play from Viego. Katarina's going to come. He needs to get the hell out of there. Okay. Alright. So Katarina has a bit of move. We don't know where she is. There she is now. Excellent. So this is going to be a tough game, isn't it? This Rengar's getting quite beefy. Quite beefy. Very, very nice combo there. And you can use your abilities however you want because you're so close to the tower that it doesn't even matter. This was excellent. I love that.
Yeah.
I love that wall there. It was really nice. Excellent. Nice little short trade. At least we know now Rengar won't have ult for a little bit, but it is going to be on a relatively low cooldown at this stage. We're definitely going to need a stopwatch, right? A Zonya's.
Yeah, definitely.
Alright, so what looks like Rengar shows topside. I can't tell if he ulted or not. Lovely. And again, another little window where you can maybe get a deep ward out. Or even go just get a river ward on topside, either or. I think this ward's kind of low value. I think either the Raptors or topside. Unless that was for Katarina, or what was all that? What was that ward for?
I think that was just like an autopilot ward, and I know against like Rengar, Eve, Shaco, you have to get wards on like on camps to spot them, because otherwise they'll just fast them.
Look, I don't mind the hover. I think the hover is completely fine. I think the play well and truly is done here, though. Like, I think you walk here, like, it's too obvious. Like, the play's done, isn't it? Like, Viego uses the Shroud. I don't really see how this works.
I guess I was just thinking we could probably force it, but I guess I was a little optimistic.
I have no idea how the hell that works. With a Xayah that has ultimate, I mean... What the hell happens there? Oh, Xayah, like, just walks back in. So look, at the end of the day, I mean, the only danger of this, though, the reason I'm a little bit dubious about this play is because you are giving a lot of room to the Katarina. Now, in this case, it doesn't do much, though, because Katarina, I mean, top actually already died. So I guess it's okay, and going for this play, even if it doesn't work, isn't the end of the world. But yeah, just something to keep in mind.
Okay.
And remember, in these situations, this is kind of not what you want. It's either a clean kill or nothing at all, because this is Katarina's playpen, isn't it? I mean, this is exactly what Katarina wants. Everyone's low, you know, using aggressive flashes and ults aggressively, and then Katarina can usually come in and clean up. This is exactly what she wants.
Yeah, I guess if she was there like just 3 seconds earlier, we probably all die to her.
Yeah. Maybe a little bit forced. So, at the end of the day, though, still same premise, right? We need to keep this wave shoved in, making our reactor waves, ideally finding ward windows. We are suffering a little bit here because of our wasted ward. We need to keep stalling out the game until we get a few more items here. Once we get a zone or a stopwatch, I think we'll have a lot more freedom. Rengar is on bot side. And look, even though this feels shitty, like, obviously if this is an isolated 1v1, you're going to easily get prior into the Katarina. But we don't know where Rengar is. We don't know if he has R or not. We have no idea. So we have to give. It's just the reality. We have no flash. We have no ult. It is what it is.
Yeah, just one of those situations where I understood well that I'm just like, I just have to play patient right here. Yeah. Like, there's nothing else I can do.
It's shit, but it's the only thing we can do. They dive bot. Excellent. This is actually kind of good for you. You can get a lot of mid plates, and we have a riff, so this is great. Personally, I think I would have actually called for a rift mid, personally, but they get top instead.
Yeah, I think I didn't even think of calling for him to use it mid just because he ran straight top.
Okay. Wow, they go very deep on top side. Holy moly. Okay. We basically get an entire mid wave, and then I'm assuming here you thought Rengar would be resetting going top? Or
that's what I if you saw after the one wave I started to walk away.
Yep.
But then when I saw that my teammates were continuing further, I'm like, oh yeah, he'll definitely go for them. I can still go for this turret.
And did you notice Rengar kill Kai'Sa bot here?
Yeah, I knew he was bot lane.
So you knew the Rengar just killed Kai'Sa on bot?
He just killed Kai'Sa on bot, and then, but I figured, oh, my teammates just got to kill top. They're just going to keep pressuring. Like,
and then
if he doesn't back
Rengar's going to force them to reset.
Yeah, I thought he was going to be forced to reset.
Okay. Yep. Yeah.
Because I didn't think, like, if Rengar wasn't there, I thought, how does Viego set die in that 2v2? But...
Right, okay. Yeah, look, to get specific, I think that, the play looked over anyway. Like, it's highly unlikely they're going to go for, like, a tier 3. Right? And,
I thought going for the tier 3 was, like, dumb on their part, but I figured if they were drawing the pressure, then I should stay and, like, maximize what I could get.
Right. Okay. I can see your hypothesis. I think you overestimated, like, because in my mind, like, this, I think the only difference between you and I, like, thought process is that, okay, so there's actually a few little details that I think would differ here, okay? I think number one, I would have actually pinged for Rift mid. That's number one. Number two.
Okay.
If I saw them commit to top side and I saw them actually commit for tier 2 top, sure, because Rengar overstayed bot side, they can go for that. And Katarina as well. They can go for that. As soon as they get that top tier 2 though, what I would be doing is I would be pinging back. Something I noticed, and just a trend again, you see this with low master players, high diamond players, is that they don't value like map control. They don't value tempo in the mid game. Them staying and getting this kill actually doesn't do anything. Like if they get that kill, but they die themselves, they lose way more because Rengar can then just walk into the top side and take their camps before Viego comes back onto the map. So, in this situation, I know how this Viego and Set are feeling. I know it's highly likely, based off the rank that you're at, it's highly unlikely that they're just going to be like, oh, let's just get the hit, let's just get the tower and insta back off of value tempo and map control and maybe take a camp and then reset, come back on the map and do something. What are they going to do? They're going to send it, right? They're going to send it as far as they possibly can. They're never going to not say no to that, right? That's a very common diamond thing to do. They're filled with dopamine, thinking, fuck yeah, we've got top tower, we got top tier 2, top tier 1, whatever. Let's just...
We are going to end the game at 13 minutes. Right. Let's just go.
They're not going to say no to a play at that stage. So the key difference for me is I would think for myself, okay, there is no hope in hell that they can do something to tier 3. And I don't want them to even try because again they're going to mess up tempo. So given I have nothing else to think about. The only reason I'm saying this is viable for you is because there's nothing else for you to think about. Katarina's not interacting with you in mid lane, so you can solely direct your attention to the map state right now. In this situation,
Yep.
I would then ping back after the rift and ping back, and even type reset. And then I would also, if they didn't do that, I mean, my second hunch would be, okay, they're just going to get the rift hit off, and then they're going to back off anyway. It's highly unlikely Rengar's going to feel incentivized to go for that tier 3. Because in my mind, it's impossible that even if they go for the tier 3, they can't kill it because there's 2 people there defending it.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Rengar is more concerned with taking jungle camps and making Viego's life miserable when he comes back off the reset. So, in my opinion, what Rengar's probably doing, he was probably intending to get this, get this, but then saw you continually push him in. It's like, oh, that's a great opportunistic play. So,
Okay,
you know
that
what I
makes
mean?
sense. Yeah,
Like,
okay.
he probably wasn't even intending to, like, kill you mid. Like, he was going to stay on the map anyway and probably deny Viego as many camps as possible, regardless.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it just so happened like you stayed and you felt pressure to stay because they're staying, and then that obviously gave you a perceived sense of safety. Yeah. So yeah, a lot of very niche stuff there, a lot of very specific stuff, but it is important to note. Does that make sense, by the way? Like the whole overstay thing and everything.
Yeah, the stuff about tempo makes a lot of sense.
Okay, so the problem here is that how do we win this game, right? Like, it's a tough one, isn't it? I mean, I'm looking at this. I mean, your side landing is made very difficult by this. I don't know how strong this is going to be comparative to this and for how long.
I think my hypothesis at this moment
Mm,
was our only shot at winning this game is we deathball
yep,
and
spot on.
hopefully Rengar, Katarina get like overzealous.
Yep.
We kill either one of them diving us, Viego gets the reset, and then we wipe the team fight.
Yeah, spot on. I totally agree. I don't think there is anything else you can do because you can't side lane because of Rengar. I mean, you could hypothetically call for hover from Viego and take a 2v2, but I don't even think you win. I don't even know if you win.
I don't think so.
So, like, I agree. I think your best bet is the Death Ball ARAM. I mean, that's incredible. I don't know how the hell that happened, but that's amazing, right? I mean, that relieves so much pressure. That's huge. Huge.
When I saw him die there, I had no idea how that happened.
Yeah, I don't even know either. That Vargo, I mean, that Rengar must have still stayed on the map, so I don't know. Or he face checked. Yeah, he looks like he face checked or something. I don't know. But anyway, that's huge. But I still agree, even after that, I mean, depending on what Viego gets off the reset, I still think that Death Ball is your best bet. Because Katarina into your comp and Rengar into comp if you Death Ball, it is hard to deal with. But that does throw a bit of a spanner in the works, doesn't it? Because now Viego gets a 700 gold shutdown. Maybe you do win the hover. Potentially.
I think after Viego got that shutdown, I think I became maybe a little too optimistic in the game, and I'm like, oh, we can probably take normal fights because Viego's strong.
I mean, regardless of whether or not that's the case, what we need to do now is Dragon's going to be the next objective. We need to then group up together and then ARAM it, right? I mean, ideally. Yep, like this. Spot on. Walk through mid. Walk in together. Try and make some picks. Lovely, we forced out the Rengar R. As long as we stay grouped like this, that's excellent. Really, really good. Hold your Q. Beautiful. Excellent. Well done, dude. Really well done. And that's exactly what we said, and look at how it executed. Very nice.
Mm-hmm.
I love the hold of the Q for the Katarina. I love the grouping. I love getting to the objective nice and early. Excellent. Stock standard. Okay, this is interesting. This is very interesting. So you've ended up staying on the map. Staying for tier 1 bot. Okay. Okay. Viego's getting pretty out of control here. So it looks like you were calling for a Baron on spawn or something.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to do, Baron on
Hmm.
spawn.
Yeah, I agree. I think Baron on spawn. It's pretty sketchy. I mean, I guess there is a plan, but tier 3 is the worst thing that you could do here. There's only two options here. It's either do Baron on spawn, or it's take their jungle camps insta reset. There's only two options. Tier 3 is never an option here. By the way, never. Because now that's the worst decision you can make. This is terrible. I hate this. And now look at that.
I really wasn't sure why we didn't just do Baron on spawn. Like, we have a Viego. I figured we have Anivia, Viego, Kaisa, so we like melt the Baron, and there's no chance that they get there in time. Rengar could, but what is Rengar gonna do? Like, if we're all just stacked on
Yeah, they're on
Baron,
top of each
like,
other.
if we
Yeah.
start Baron here, Rengar comes, we kill him, take Baron, like that should just be game.
I think regardless though, like next time, even if they don't listen, like ping back on the tier 3 and just say like ping assistance on the jungle camps and say reset. Like you
Yeah.
really want to avoid this situation at all costs. Everyone's overset on the map, nice and low. They're literally about to respawn. You're gonna completely give up all of your tempo. You've already got side lanes that you got to respond to. You haven't even taken their red buff that just spawned, I believe. This is literally worst case scenario. Looks like Viego goes onto bot side. Kaiser ends up dying inevitably. You and Senna, look at that. And now look at that. They get to start Baron. All of that. Viego reset. You're doing the best you can. Oh, man. I mean, I think you could have played this a little bit better, though, with your abilities.
Yeah, this was
I mean,
definitely a misplay.
I think there's many things you could have done. I think you could have used your wall to split the fight here as well. Like, you could have put your wall there, which would have made it impossible for these guys to follow up, and then just kill the Rengar. I think also you could have turned... I think also here you could have kept your distance away from the brush such that Rengar can't jump onto you. Or you could have also stopped your R and then held it and then walked back and then recast it and then locked them in. I don't know. It feels like giving Rengar the jump here and then not splitting the fight with your W was a pretty big blunder. But anyway,
Yeah.
regardless of the micro here, I think the main problem is it's the same problem, isn't it? Like with your Viego and your set is that they don't understand the concept of overstaying and map control, right? That seems to be the recurring trend here.
Okay, yeah, okay, that makes a lot of sense because like this Baron and there were a couple other plays earlier that we went over where I just felt like how is this allowed? How is the enemy allowed
Yep.
to make this play? Like,
Yep.
what did we do to allow them to do this?
Does that make sense? How it all stems from that overstay?
Yeah.
That's literally, by the way, a textbook example. Like, if we're talking about the importance of mid-game tempo for everyone in this call, this is literally a fucking... if we search overstaying in mid-game and valuing tier 3 tower over tempo, this is what should come up in the fucking dictionary. Everyone overstays, you win a fight, for like, oh my god, we can get tower. You know, we can't do Barons, so we got to get tower. And then everyone's like, oh, split, dip, get out of here, reset, whatever. So, you know, everyone splits, does jungle camps. Some people do jungle camps, some people don't. Everyone's resets get desynced. People get picked, and they get full control. They get full control over the Baron. Usually what happens, they either start the Baron, or they walk over here, and they take your jungle, and then they pick someone as soon as they're coming back out of spawn. Usually that's something that happens. But they go straight for the Baron. And the game, in my opinion, you had it in the bag at this stage. I think after this fight, like, you had it in the bag here. I don't see how you lose at this point. If you just kept deathballing and maintained your control. Because Rengar would be on vision 24/7.
Yeah, at this point in the game, I really liked the comp that we had into them. Because, like, they have a Katarina Rengar, but I'm Anivia. There's not much they can do into me. And if Kaisa ever lands, like, a W on someone else, well, she just ults away. Like, our team is really hard to dive.
Yep. And now, it looks like Viego gets picked. Just give the dragon. Move topside. Give. Ping back. All around dragon. Move topside. Get control of topside. You got pinks. You got vision. This pink is completely fucking useless. Move on topside. Just give it completely. Shove down mid. If they threaten bot side, you threaten shove down mid. Right? Like, why are we reacting to them? As soon as Viego gets picked, what do you guys do? There's nothing to do on bot side, is there? And how annoying would it be if you, for them if you guys all just run down here? Because what are they scared of? You open in him, and then you just take their top side, light that up, and then reset. They get that short, and then they shove that, but you get all this, and then reset, and then match here, all good. Or they have to react to you. They can't even go bot because you threaten running down mid. This is worst case scenario. You're not getting the jungle camps, you're not shoving out the waves, you're not threatening to inhib, and you're wasting your vision. Okay. Nice. Look, in my opinion, your comp is like superior, but their comp is like easier to execute in a way. Because they've got a fed Rengar and like everyone just gets picked. Like even in a situation like this, right? What just happened? They overstayed. Rengar made like a suicide play. You get like all these kills. Everyone gets a bunch of gold. Everyone's all happy chappy. What should you do? Just reset.
Probably reset.
Reset again. Screw going for inhib. That's, honestly, I don't even think inhib even does much. Because again, you're just sacrificing all of your map control. I mean, I don't even like inhib here. I don't even think it really does anything. Really. Like, I don't. I don't think it really does anything. It's going to give them free farm. Then they split again. And notice how it's the same thing. Rinse, repeat, by the way. You guys all overstayed. You guys are all now scrambling. Oh, we got to reset. We got to reset. Right? Everyone's like, fuck, where do we reset? Everyone's trying to reset in awkward locations. Do we stay? Do we fight? What do we do? But they've obviously come back with replenished resources and spent their gold. You're sitting on 1250 gold. Inevitably, someone gets caught out of position. And they're coming up all nice and healthy. And then they push you all the way back. They get full map control. It's the same shit over and over again, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's literally on repeat. You're winning a team fight. You overstay. They fuck you up. It's just a cycle.
Yeah.
It's happened the 3 last deployments on the map. So, look, I think that's the learning. The main learning here. I mean, there's a lot of little things, but the main learning is the especially when you're versing champions, like pick champs. When you're versing, like, champs that have a lot of threat from long range, like if we're talking Nocturne, we're talking Zac, we're talking Rengar, we're talking Eve. All of these champions that are in a way countered by deathballing, just you just gotta value tempo, get good quality vision, not overstay, make them come into you, and then all's good because you're gonna see them from a mile away, and then you guys can fix waves without missing farm, and then everyone's all happy chappy.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Yeah, in review, I can see how every bad fight, literally every single one, was purely off of we should have just reset, and we did.
Yep. Simple. Really simple. And look, these people don't understand these concepts, by the way. No one in this game understands these concepts. So you're gonna have to step it up a little bit. In GM plus games, people will spam ping you back all the time for overstaying, but it won't happen in this elo.
Yeah, I've gotten to the mindset of, and I think it's been like aiding me in like climbing pretty well. Of even when the game states get really bad, I'm like, I'm an NA diamond. These players realistically are not good. They can't end the game.
Yep. No. But it goes both ways, doesn't it? For your team and their team.
It does. Yeah. I ignore that part though. I say, well, I can make calls, but this game I made no calls, so that doesn't matter at all.
Spot on. Lovely. Well, thank you for the VOD, man. Hopefully this gives you a bit to think about.